I feel like playing in some fragrance samples, so yeah, we're gonna have a little bit of fun today, particularly from the house of Initio and from Thameen. Let's get on into it. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Lisa Maria here. So yeah, this is kind of fun, chill, laid back. As you all know, I'm enjoying sampling from different houses, particularly brands I do not own a full bottle from. And in this case, Thameen and Initio, I do not own full bottles of either one of these houses, so I'm excited. We have a total of 5 fragrances to discuss. Some of them you know more than others. One of them is very, very popular in here, so I'm extremely excited to talk about it. Fun fact, being that this is a sampling video, that means this is a first impression. This is not a dedicated review. I have to clarify that. I have actually worn these on skin, so I do have thoughts on all of these fragrances. Some of them are loves and some of them are absolutely nots. So yeah, we're gonna have some fun. As always, lipstick of the day today, everyone. I decided to go in with something kind of pinky but still neutral. This is MAC You Wouldn't Get It. Check it out right there. It'll be in the description box as always, but let me know what you think, and of course let me know what you feel about the look of the day. Next up, we have fragrance of the day. I was feeling kind of fun and flirty for the day, so I went in with a Bond number 9 fragrance, and this is Bond number 9's Madison Square Park. I want to say, yep, Madison Square Park, aka the pink and green bottle, because yes, pink and green does reign supreme. If you know, you know. But that is your fragrance of the day, and it'll be linked below as always. So all right, let's have fun testing fragrances and sharing thoughts on them. I got my handy dandy tester strips because I always like to refresh my nose on these fragrances. So the first fragrance we're going to talk about, this is from the house of Thameen, London, and this is Amber Room. I love getting the official samples. All of these samples I picked up from twistedlily.com. I do have a code with Twisted Lily, so if you also want to purchase your own samples as well as full sizes, you can get a discount. I'll have that here for you all. But as usual, particularly when it comes to niche fragrances, I tell y'all sample first. So as you can see, I am a woman of my word. Now back to this here Amber Room. The good thing about Thameen, some people say Thameen, I say Thameen because I see TH. So we have the notes are actually listed in the booklet. So let's get into it. So Thameen's Amber Room, this is a extrait de parfum fragrance. We have top notes of bergamot, grapefruit, ginger, cardamom, and pink pepper. Then we have heart notes. We have rose, patchouli, and cinnamon. Then we have base notes of amber, sandalwood, olibanum, vetiver, and tonka bean. So very much a niche fragrance based on the notes breakdown, and I'm going to refresh my nose with it with my sample. Again, this is an extrait de parfum, and let me tell you, oh, it is. Oh, it is in my experience. So all right, let's talk about it. Okay, y'all, Amber Room, let me tell you something. This is man. This is man. I can't do nothing with Amber Room. It's very zingy to my nose, and to be fair, there is ginger in here. I want to say grapefruit. Yeah, those notes are naturally tart in real life. You know, we eat those items, and yeah, heavy on the ginger and the grapefruit to my nose. And vetiver. This is for a man. Absolutely. Obviously, niche fragrances, all fragrances to be exact. Fragrances unisex, but of course, some things lean more masculine, more feminine, but this is absolutely a masculine fragrance. Yeah, this is one I definitely took a risk on because I had no idea, but hey, that's the beauty of sampling. I read the sampling and found out it ain't for me versus had I purchased a full-size bottle, which I think Thameen's bottles are like $220 at this point. So yeah, so I'm okay. I'm willing to take the L here on the sample front. But yeah, it's a no for me. I can see a man wearing this, but yeah, it's just a little bit too zingy in my opinion. So Amber Room is a no. The next fragrance we're going to talk about, this is from Thameen, and this is Patiala. Now this one I was very excited to explore because a lot of my fragrance girlies, fellow reviewers, have said very wonderful things about it. And I'm like, interesting, because normally everybody always talks about the other P fragrance from Thameen, and that is Peregrina, which I've already talked about Peregrina in another video. It was okay, but it didn't wow me, it didn't move me, at least in the summertime it doesn't. I kept my sample. I'm gonna revisit it, which always keep your samples because you might love it in a different season. But I kept hearing to try Patiala. So let's get into her. Notes of Patiala, we have extrait de parfum, so that is the concentration. We have top notes of geranium, orange, and aldehyde. I'm an aldehyde girl, so you have my attention. Then we have heart notes of orange blossom, rose, and then patchouli. Then we have base notes of moss, amber, and musk. So interesting. I do enjoy a good moss moment, so we'll see. And yeah, Patiala. I mean, the name is beautiful by itself, so that speaks to me. And I like the fact that it is a extrait de parfum again, meaning more perfume oils, more concentrated. So usually leans to a more longer lasting fragrance. And let me tell y'all something. I can't hold it in anymore. Love it first sniff. This was the one when I first got these in and I was testing them so I could kind of have my thoughts for them so I wouldn't get on camera and just ramble. I love this scent. I need a full bottle yesterday. This is beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. It's like the rose in here. I get the citrus, but it's still airy at the same time, and then that muskiness. This is a beautiful scent for a woman. Absolutely, this is feminine leaning. There is no masculine unisex about it. This is a feminine fragrance to me. But it's beautiful, y'all. This is a distant cousin to, in my opinion, For Your Love from Maison Cyr, that airiness, that airy fruitiness thing, but also a cousin to Baccarat Rouge 540. So if you like that whole airy thing, but you don't want something that smells like Baccarat, because I get it, everybody's over their fragrance, and that's okay, but you still want something in that same vein, but let's make it rose, let's make it more citrus, let's make it more aldehydic. This is the one for you. This is, wow. This is signature scent worthy to me. A beautiful woman will wear this. This is elegant. This is beautiful. I'm sorry, like, I need a bottle of Patiala. Like, okay, the hype is real on Patiala. I get it and I'm here for it. Yes, it's good, y'all. It's really, really good. Okay, I gotta stop smelling her, but yes. Thameen Patiala, I need her. She's a winner. She is fantastic, and she wore pretty well on my skin too, because I wanted to bathe in this. I had to save enough of the sample to do this review, but y'all, it took everything in me not to use the sample up. But yes, so Thameen Patiala is an absolute winner. It is the one I am most in love with, for sure. Yes. So now we're done with the Thameen fragrances, and we're going to shift gears over to the Initio fragrances. So let's have some fun. So first up, this is my first time ever smelling one from the white bottle line, as I call it, but the official line. This is one from the Hedonist collection, and I got a sample of Rehab right here, Initio's Rehab. Now this is one, when it comes to the white bottles, people always talk about must therapy, which is cool, but for some reason I'm not pressed to try that one. I'll smell it eventually, but I'm not like, oh, I need to get around to it right now. It's like this sometimes. Let me know, do you feel the way about certain fragrances? Drop them in the comments below. But Rehab, I was like, interesting, particularly once I saw the notes for it. I was like, yeah. So notes for Initio's Rehab, we have main notes of bergamot, lavender, cedarwood, patchouli, sandalwood, then we have all naturals, hedione, and musk. Now based on this notes, being that this is a lavender fragrance, I was like, ooh, I don't know, this might be masculine, because as we know, lavender tends to lean more masculine in fragrances, well, with the exception of course Mon Guerlain, that type of thing, but just saying. So I was a little nervous, but anywho, so I tried my Rehab on paper like I'm about to do right now, and I gotta say this, Rehab is one that you definitely have to test on your skin. You can't just leave it on paper, but I'm gonna tell you why. So on paper, y'all, this was a lavender balm, and particularly a sandalwood balm too, on paper, and I was kind of like, this is it's unisex. It's truly a unisex fragrance, but it was slightly leaning masculine. I was like, I don't know. I have to really be in a mood for this one on paper, and I was kind of nervous to put it on my skin. But then one day I had just a light day around the house. It was a weekend. I said, you know what? I'm gonna wear this fragrance while I'm not really going anywhere, so I can really test it out. Wore it on my skin. I loved it. Turned into a love. So Rehab is definitely not a love at first sniff. Can't sit on here and say that. This one took more than one sniff to love it. In particular, I had to wear it on my skin. It meshed well with my body chemistry. So I was like, this is interesting. And in my opinion, this is a fall freshie. That is what this is, because a lot of times freshies always are kind of leaning towards the summertime. They smell like citrus and mandarin and all that. No, the lavender in here, there's a coolness, a calmness to it. But it's creamy because of that sandalwood. I enjoy this. I want to wear this with a beautiful cashmere sweater. That's what I want to do. And I want to go to a pumpkin patch, or I want to go to the carnival in this. Yes, that is this fragrance. So this is one, absolutely sample Rehab from Initio. Do not blind buy. Please do not blind buy, because it's a little interesting. It doesn't smell like anything else in my collection. It's different and unique, and I like it. And the longevity, of course, is there. So I mean, that's Initio for you. So Rehab, I like you. You definitely changed my mind. I do think you are full bottle worthy. Now the next fragrance is extremely popular. It's the it girl in the group, in my opinion. And this is one I've seen so many people talk about for the past 2 years. And I said, okay, I'm gonna finally get around to testing it out. This is the infamous, yes, it's a bestseller for the brand, Oud for Greatness, you all. Yes, Oud for Greatness. I mean, I had to see what it was about. I mean, why not? So, okay, let's get into Oud for Greatness. I had to find my sample. There it is. So now Oud for Greatness. Now, Oud for Greatness, being that it's a bestseller and it's part of like a special collection they have, the price reflects it too. I see Oud for Greatness like $410. I'm like, whoa, interesting. Which, as you all know, you can use coupon codes, you can get a discount. So of course, we're not spending full price. But I just noticed that Oud for Greatness was more expensive than the other ones, but let's get into it. Whew, I sprayed that first. Oh wow, that is in the air. So let's talk about it. Oud for Greatness, it is a eau de parfum concentration. And my apologies, Rehab is an extrait de parfum. So Rehab is an extrait de parfum, and then Oud for Greatness is an eau de parfum. I just wanted to give that information real quick. So back to Oud for Greatness though. So you all, we have notes here. It says natural oud wood, agar wood oil. Then we have lavender, saffron, patchouli, and musk. I noticed something. They're really loving lavender and patchouli a lot in their fragrances. But let me tell y'all something. Let's get into Oud for Greatness. This is sexy. This is very, very sexy. This is cold weather sexy. But let me say this. This is so sexy, but I don't want to smell it on me. I want to smell it on my man. This is absolutely an amazing scent for a man. This is a man that's gonna walk in the room and he's gonna command everyone's attention. Everyone's gonna wanna know who he is. What do you do? Please marry me. I just wanna run off into the sunset with you. That is Oud for Greatness. Wow. This is nice. And I smelled this and I immediately said, ooh, this is sexy, but I recognize, I said, this is sexy in a masculine way. So I immediately said, you know what, let me get the head elf's take on it. And I definitely let him smell it. And he was like, oh yeah, this is nice. Or as he would say, oh, this hard right here. This real hard. It's so funny. Like when we like stuff, his Memphis accent comes out and I love it. It's great. But y'all, Oud for Greatness, this is for the men. Technically, of course, it's unisex, but to me, this is a masculine fragrance. I wouldn't want to wear this as much. And if I did, it would have to be literally in the dead of winter. That's the only way I would feel comfortable getting away with Oud for Greatness, because this is giving man, honey. But it's a man I want to know, for sure. This is giving man I want to know. So for my guy elves, because I know I do have a few of y'all, if you don't have Oud for Greatness already, because I know I'm late to the train, y'all, this is it. This is worth the hype. Oud for Greatness is absolutely worth the hype. It is super potent, even just as a sample. And I did put it on my skin, even though it is a masculine fragrance. I still recognize how amazing of a scent this is. Extremely well blended. So 100% worth the hype, full bottle worthy for the men. I think so. So that is Initio's Oud for Greatness. Then last fragrance to talk about. This one is from the Carnal Blends collection out of the Initios. Yes, Initio. And this is High Frequency. Now people don't talk about High Frequency. This was one that slept on, and for that reason, that's why I got a sample of it, because I was like, I don't hear about this one. Everybody always talks about, of course, Atomic Rose. Everybody always talk about Must Therapy. Everybody talk about Oud for Greatness, but this falls under the category of a deep track, in my opinion. This is a if you know, you know. Deep collectors only. So High Frequency, it is an eau de parfum concentration. Let's get into these notes. So we have notes of magnolia, jasmine, vanilla, heliotrope, and then we have almond, sandalwood, and hedion. Let me tell y'all right now, if you know nothing else about me, know that I love a good almond note. Ooh, I love a good almond note, because we don't get them that often. So that's what stood out to me about this fragrance. I said, ooh, she might be cute, because I love an almond scent, particularly for the fall. And I'm like, I might like it and might put it on my fall wish list. We'll see, right? Tried this baby out right here. High Frequency, y'all, you hit immediately with the magnolia, in which I love magnolia. I'm a Southern girl, go down to Mississippi all the time pretty regularly, and I always think about magnolia trees. So this is, yes, for my Southern girls, particularly Mississippi girls, yes. The magnolia, and then you get that creamy vanilla, y'all. It works. And then that almond, that nuttiness at the base, particularly on the skin. I get the almond even more on the skin. I love this. This is a woman. This is feminine all the way, in my opinion. Very, very feminine. It's powdery, it's fresh, it's signature scent worthy. To me, this is a daytime scent, in my opinion. Very much daytime, very nice. You're not gonna smell this anywhere else, because I don't have anything in my collection that smells like high frequency, and for that reason, I want her. I want her. And yeah, I gotta give her credit. So with that being said, I can officially say that I have not smelled an Initio at this point that I do not like. I like all of them. Now, do I think all of them are for me? That is a no, because clearly some of them are masculine leaning, like Oud for greatness. As a house, I like Initio, and I think I'm gonna be an Initio girl come this fall. So if you start seeing more full bottles of Initio added to my collection, I know why, because I've been sampling them. Now, also speaking on Thameen, that house is definitely a house I have to sample. It is hit and miss for me, but Patiala, oh honey, Patiala, I need you. I need her first. Out of all the fragrances I smell, I want Patiala first. And then second, I think would be high frequency, and then third would be Rehab. Yep. That would be what I would want, Rehab from Initio. I would want that one for sure. So all right, elves, that wraps up this sampling edition video, just playing in my fragrance samples. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Have you sampled any of these fragrances I've talked about? You probably might even own full bottles of it. Let me know how you think about them. Do you agree with my assessment? Do you think I'm absolutely wrong? That is okay too. It's a conversation. Hey, it's just fragrance. It's meant to be interpreted differently by everyone. So as always, if you're here for the content, hit that thumbs up button. And if you're not here for any of it, then I guess you just don't want to smell good, and that is okay. So until next time, elves, I will catch you on the next video. Bye, y'all.